Delhi Metro is something that all Delhi people are proud of, even those who don't travel on it. So recently, when the Delhi High Court has ordered the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation to pay a princely sum of rupees 8,900 crore to Reliance Infra or risk seizure of the assets, that has left a lot of people shocked. But in response, what the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has proposed is worse. It plans to bring in an ordinance to ensure that no DMRC property can be seized by a court order. That has got a problem, we agree, because the other party to this venture, which is the Delhi government, is playing a wall. It's basically playing mischief. It doesn't want to be part of this entire payout. But whatever the circumstances, what Minister Hardeep Puri is saying is not really something that we want to travel down again. Remember, this is an arbitration case. We have lost the arbitration case. What does the word arbitration remind you? Of the Vodafone case of 2011. It gave us plenty of bad publicity. We don't want to be there again, and that is our crib on this edition of On Point. The cost of arbitration over the Delhi Metro project has salutary lessons for government bodies setting up public-private partnership projects. These lessons are salutary because India is planning to invest rupees 100 trillion on infrastructure projects, many of them on PPP mode. Let's get some details of this case first. The Delhi Airport Metro Express was built by 2011 to connect the heart of the city to the newly rebuilt Delhi International Airport. The trigger for the project that was signed in 2008 was the Commonwealth Games of 2010. The DMRC was to be responsible for the civil work, which means stations, viaducts and tunnels, while a special purpose vehicle formed by Anil Ambani owned Reliance Infra, which was known as the Delhi Airport Metro Express Private Limited, was to provide and maintain the system, that means tracks, signals and rolling stocks. The project missed the game's deadline and started operations only in 2011, but significantly it was completed within budget. It was India's first rail PPP project. Now, missing this prestigious deadline made both the parties angry with each other. Acrimony started coming along very soon. Services were suspended in 2012 for repairs of defective lines. It was resumed in 2013, but then there was a dispute over punctuality, over the quality of the services, over the fares. The problems became worse. Reliance Infra terminated the project in June 2013, just 1 year into the project. In response, DMRC encashed a bank guarantee of rupees 55 crore. Our Infra claimed this was unfair and filed an arbitration claim against DMRC. What went wrong? Generally, in a PPP, the political risks are handled by the public sector, while the construction risks are handled by the private sector. That is the risk of technology, the risk of money, those can be handled by the private sector. But here, the situation was reversed. DMRC was looking at the construction risks, while Reliance Infra's company was looking into operations, setting of fares. That was getting into problem. Also, there was no particularly good reason why DMRC was handing out construction of metro in which it was the preeminent party to a private sector. The private party in turn brought the technology from a Spanish company. And in this case, I'm not even getting into why the L1 and L2 bids was so different. You can read it up here. DMRC lost the case in 2017. The problem is that the amount of money, rupees 8,900 crores, is several times more than the annual revenue that DMRC gets from its operational business, which is that of running the metros. So, DMRC's joint owners, which is the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the Delhi government, decided to keep on appealing. And they have finally again lost the case in March this year. In the latest judgment, the Delhi High Court has said either the Government of India or the Delhi government has to raise money to pay the claim. The court has threatened that if that is not paid, then it reserves the right to frame appropriate directions against the Union Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry and Delhi government to recover the money, which means seizing the assets. Now, this is embarrassing, seizing of assets. To ensure that this does not happen, what does the union government has to do? It has to sequester all the revenue of DMRC for the last 1 year to pay towards the court judgment. But look at the math. Even this will not be enough. Now, in all this, the other party, which is the Delhi government run by the AAP, is, well, missing in action. So, there is a problem here. The critical learning from these sequences is how to learn from the projects, and very important, how not to play spoil sport once you lose. Let's look at this data. India is the first or the second largest market for PPPs in the world. That's a very impressive thing. Most of these projects have run without bother. The latest economic survey notes, and I see here, that the PPPs are vital instruments for government in channeling the strength of the private sector in critical areas of infrastructure states. The Public-Private Partnership Appraisal Committee has cleared 79 projects with a total project cost of rupees 2.27 trillion, that is 2,27,000 crore, between in the last 7 years. And to provide financial assistance to those projects, the states and the centre have also dished out viability gap funding, including that for the Vizhinjam transshipment project in Kerala. And we know about this transshipment project. It has been awarded to the Adani Group, but without any problems whatsoever. So clearly money has not been in short supply. At this stage, by threatening to amend Section 89 of the Metro Railways O&M Act of 2002 to foreclose the possibility of the railway assets being seized by the court, what are we telling the investors? We are telling them, invest, but don't raise a claim against the government. You can't win. Now, that is a lesson that will immediately mean investors will raise the costs all round. Is that what we want? Let us learn instead that the problem with the Delhi Airport Metro project was because of inadequate project preparation work. That is what led to the controversy. Knowing how to share risks will avoid this controversy. Now, in December last year, there was a report that Delhi Metro was planning to raise a rights issue. Since that rights issue would have meant that Delhi government would have to cough up its share, Mr. Kejriwal has decided to withhold his permission. That's not fair. And Mr. Puri has every right to make this information very public, say it out loud. But let us not try to change the effect of a court judgment. And that's all from this issue of On Point. Thank you.